Adolescence is a critical developmental stage marked by rapid physical, emotional and cognitive changes. For some adolescents, however, this period is complicated by learning disabilities (LDS), which can hinder their academic progress and overall development. In Malaysia, like in many countries, the prevalence of learning disabilities among adolescents presents significant challenge for educators, students and families. Learning disabilities, which includes conditions like dyslexia, ADHD and dyscalculia, can affect a student's ability to read, write, process information or perform mathematical tasks. Despite these challenges, Malaysia has made strides in improving educational support system for students with learning disabilities. The Malaysian education system, through various policies and initiatives, aim to create inclusive environment where students with learning disabilities are provided with the necessary support to succeed academically and socially. However, the effectiveness of this support system remains a topic of ongoing discussion and research. While some schools have adopted individualized education plans (IEPs), special education programs, and mainstream inclusion models, the quality and consistency of their service can vary. Depend on the region, resources, and trained personnel available.
Okay, adolescent learning disabilities. Adolescence is a transformative age, spanning around age 12 to 18, where individuals undergo rapid physical, emotional, and intellectual growth. For adolescents with learning disabilities, this period is even more challenging. Learning disabilities commonly manifest as difficulties in reading, social interaction, writing, and comprehension. In Malaysia, many adolescents with learning disabilities are enrolled in Special Education Integrated Programs (PPKI), where they receive specialized and skill-based education alongside mainstream peers. Okay, let's move on to the challenges.
So, for the challenges faced by adolescents with learning disabilities, first, resource limitation. Dr. Aisha stressed the disparity in resources between different schools, particularly regarding facilities for sensory impairments. Dr. Aisha is the one that we interviewed before.
The only challenge is that less facility or resources for blind and deaf students. Because like for example SKPK kanak-kanak cacat penglihatan. Oh, okay, we know cacat penglihatan, so they focus more on the blind students, so they have more materials on using braille, right? But in PPKI we don't have that much resources using braille.
Second challenges is behavioral and emotional challenges. Okay, adolescents with learning disabilities frequently struggle with emotional and behavioral issues, exacerbated by the hormonal changes of puberty. These challenges can manifest as tantrums or emotional outbursts, which are difficult to manage in schools environments. So, Dr. Aisha emphasized that these behaviors require tailored strategies strategies to ensure a supportive learning environment. Okay, overcrowded classrooms. PPKI classrooms are often overcrowded, with ratios exceeding the ideal 1:10 teacher to students ratio. Dr. Aisha observed, as in interview,
because number of dyslexic autistic children are increasing, so one class ratio dia macam 118 120 so imagine the class can be very crowded with too many students.
this issue is especially prominent in urban areas where increasing enrollment rates outpace available resources. Okay, fourth one, access and diagnosis. The lack of standardized diagnostic tools remains a significant hurdle. Dr. Aisha highlighted the need for clear definition and pathways for diagnosis.
Sometimes they want to go to special school, but because of the distance, let's say, because remember the number of special school is limited, so maybe there is one but very far. The nearest one is the PPKI, so they prefer to send to PPKI lah because it's closer kan.
Studies echo this concern, showing that inconsistent terminology and diagnostic frameworks often delay interventions for students with learning disabilities. So here, let's move on to addressing the needs of adolescents with learning disabilities. So to mitigate these challenges, several strategies can be implemented. First, customized curricula. Skill-based and functional learning programs such as those offered by PPKI can empower students to gain practical knowledge and independence. Dr. Aisha emphasized,
for instance, there are PPKI school providing skills such as culinary, pastry, doing laundry, mendobi, carpenting, ukir kayu kan for furniture, perabot, also gardening, what else?
So the second one, enhanced teacher training, professional development is essential to equip teachers with skills needed to manage diverse classrooms. Dr. Aisha recommended collaboration between mainstream and special education teachers.
I would highly recommend for a collaboration, Redha, collaboration between teacher with a degree in special education and teacher without a degree in special education. They can work together.
So the third one, improved behavioral support systems. Counseling services and targeted emotional support can help students to navigate puberty and behavioral challenges, as noted by Dr. Aisha from interview.
Because they are going through this adolescent period, they must have the knowledge and skills, in managing their emotion, in managing the hormonal changes.
The fourth one, resource education, addressing resource. So the last one, resource education. Addressing resource gaps, particularly in rural schools, is critical. Increasing the ability of assistive tools like braille system, hearing aids, and digital learning aids will ensure more equitable access to education. So let's move on to the next presenters.
The Malaysian Education Blueprint 2050 to 2035 and various special education programs aim to provide support for children with disabilities. However, several challenges remain within the special education program. Abdul Nasir and AIMAN Effendi 2016 highlight that the lack of resources, teaching materials and adequate facilities in special education schools limits the effectiveness of teaching and learning. Similarly, the Special Education Integration Program (PPKI) faces issues such as limited number of schools offering the program, causing logistical challenges for students who need to travel long distance. Additionally, many PPKI schools lack upgraded facilities to accommodate the growing number of students each year. Aisha, during an interview, confirmed these challenges and explained that the severity of this issue varies depending on location. For instance, urban schools like PPKI SK Taman Melawati 2, PPKI SMK Selayang Baru, and PPKI SK Taman Seri Gombak reported no shortage of qualified special education teachers, as these schools are supported by the government with trained personnel. However, Dr. Aisha noted that rural schools, particularly in Sabah and Sarawak, often lack qualified teachers in special education. In this area, general teachers without specialized training are frequently assigned to teach students with special needs. This situation highlights the unequal distribution of resources and trained professionals between urban and rural regions. To address these challenges, Dr. Aisha proposed two key recommendations. First, collaboration between teachers. Dr. Aisha highlighted the importance of teamwork between teachers with and without special education training. For example, Islamic education IRFAN teachers can work with special education teachers to adapt lessons like tajweed for students with learning disabilities. This partnership combines expertise in Islamic teaching with specialized methods to create effective and inclusive learning experiences. Second, benchmark. Dr. Aisha suggested benchmark where teachers visit other schools to observe and learn how their peers teach students with learning disabilities. They can then adapt these practices to suit their own schools, promoting professional growth and the exchange of effective teaching methods. In cooperation, these strategies can greatly improve teacher training to better support students with learning disabilities, providing references to Dr. Aisha's interviews videos and offers first-hand perspective to strengthen this recommendation. Dr. Aisha emphasizes the importance of providing Islamic education to students with learning disabilities, regardless of their levels of understanding. She stated, "It doesn't matter if they understand or not, just expose them," highlighting the responsibility of parents, teachers, and caregivers to ensure that every child has access to religious education without assumption about their abilities. For example, she explained that students with dyslexia who typically have normal IQ but face challenges in reading and writing can still learn Islamic teachings using alternative strategies. Similarly, for students with autism, including those with lower functioning abilities, teachers can guide them in learning about body parts, distinguishing between areas that can be touched and those that should not, to help them understand boundaries. Though this process may take time, it lays the foundation for their understanding. Dr. Aisha also suggests introducing Iqra, learning Quranic reading, and encouraging participation in prayer as a way to expose these students to Islamic practices. She reiterated that exposure itself is crucial, even if comprehension takes longer to develop. This approach ensures that students with learning disabilities are not excluded from religious education and personal development. In discussing the future development of education for adolescents with learning disabilities in Malaysia, Dr. Aisha proposed two key recommendations. First, creating more conducive and safe classrooms. Dr. Aisha emphasized the importance of ensuring that classrooms for students with learning disabilities are both conducive to learning and safe. She highlighted the need for an environment tailored to their specific needs, where students feel supported and secure in their educational journey. Second, encouraging participation in sport and curricular activities. Dr. Aisha stressed the importance of involving students with learning disabilities in non-academic areas, such as sport and co-curricular and activities. These recommendations are supported by insight from Dr. Aisha during the interview, which further emphasized the need to create a holistic and inclusive approach to education for adolescents with learning disabilities.
Support system in Malaysian schools for adolescent learning disabilities is actually crucial in order to ensure the rights of the needs were fulfilled. Adolescents with learning disabilities in Malaysian schools benefit from a comprehensive support system designed to meet their unique needs. These initiatives ensure equitable access to education while fostering both academic and personal development. First, the Individualized Education Plan (IEP) offers a personalized learning plan tailored to teach students specific goals and challenges. Developed collaboratively by teachers, parents, and counselors, the IEP is regularly reviewed to track progress and make necessary adjustments. This approach ensures targeted support to address the diverse needs of students. Second, support services and resources play a crucial role. Schools provide counseling and guidance services to assist students in overcoming emotional and academic hurdles. Therapy services such as speech and occupational therapy are often facilitated through collaborations with external professionals or government agencies. Assistive technologies, including audiobooks and speech-to-text devices, further enhance learning opportunities for these students. Next, collaboration with parents and community strengthens the support framework. Effective parent-teacher partnerships are vital for monitoring student progress and addressing concerns. Additionally, schools work closely with community organizations like Persatuan Orang Cacat Penglihatan Malaysia, PERTIS, and Pertubuhan Keluarga Anak Istimewa As-Sakinah PERKIS to provide resources, advocacy, and holistic support for students and their families. Then, awareness and training programs empower educators and communities. Regular workshops and training sessions equip teachers with skills to manage learning disabilities effectively. Awareness campaigns also help combat stigma and foster acceptance of students with learning disabilities within the school, community, and beyond. Lastly, the policy and legal framework ensures that education is inclusive for all. The Education Act 1996 guarantees the right to education for all children, including those with learning disabilities. Additionally, the Zero Reject policy ensures no child with special needs is excluded from the education system. In conclusion, the Malaysian education system has established a robust support framework for adolescents with learning disabilities by integrating personalized education plans, specialized services, collaborative efforts, and inclusive policies. Schools create an environment that empowers students to thrive academically and socially.
We will share insight from a study titled Children with Disabilities in Malaysia and Their Educational Rights and relate it to our topic, Adolescents Learning Disabilities and Support System in Malaysia. The article highlights a critical issue. While Malaysia has pledged to provide education for all, there is no specific legal framework addressing the right of children with disabilities. This gap creates challenges in ensuring equal opportunities, especially for those with learning disabilities. Key issues raised in the article include: first, policy uncertainty; second, shortage of trained educators; and inadequate facilities. These challenges also resonate with our topic. Adolescents with learning disabilities, like dyslexia, require tailored intervention. However, the lack of trained educator and sufficient resources leave many struggling academically and emotionally. The article emphasized the need for a comprehensive legal framework and better funding to ensure these students' educational rights are protected. For our context, this means improving the support system through, first, policy reforms; second, teacher training; and community awareness. In conclusion, while the article shed light on the broader challenges in special education, it directly ties to the urgent need for a stronger support system for adolescents with learning disabilities in Malaysia.
Okay, thank you to my friend points that have been present in this video. So I would like to conclude or make a conclusion. In Malaysia, adolescent learning disabilities represent a crucial yet often overlooked aspect of the education system. These disabilities, which include dyslexia, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, and other cognitive impairment disorder, affect a significant portion of the student population. Despite various efforts to foster an inclusive education environment, many students with learning disabilities face systemic challenges that hinder their academic and social development. For the challenge, the first one that I have that in the earlier, lack of awareness and early diagnosis. One of the primary issues is the lack of widespread awareness among educators and parents regarding the signs and the symptoms of learning disabilities. This often results in late diagnosis, which can delay the provision of necessary support and intervention. For the challenge number 2, insufficient resource and support. Schools in Malaysia often lack of resources, both financial and human source, to adequately support students with learning disabilities. Special education teachers are in short supply, and mainstream teachers may not have the training required to address the diverse needs of these students. So we move to the second part of it, that is the necessary step forward to overcome this challenge. Number 1 is enhanced training for the educators, investing in professional development for teachers to better equip them with the skill needed to identify and support students with learning disabilities is crucial. This includes both pre-service and in-service training program that can help collaboration with others, mainstream and special need education teachers. Number 2, community and parental engagement. Raising awareness and educating the community about learning disability can help to reduce stigma and encourage a more supportive environment for affected students. Engaging parents as partners in their children's education is also vital. So, in summary, addressing adolescent learning disability in Malaysian school require a multifaceted approach that include better training for educators, increased resources, stronger legal protection, and community engagement. By taking all these steps, Malaysia can move toward a more inclusive and equitable education system that allow all students to reach their full potential. So that's all from us. Thank you for watching us. Okay, thank you. Bye. Assalamualaikum.
Derham, insyaAllah, amin ya rabbal alamin, will teach you about this chapter. So what is